Okay, since I seem to be on a roll tonight, I wanted to talk about another thing that I think I really this is a subject that I've ended up having to bring up a lot, and honestly, I think it's something that a few people that I know need to hear. Um, it's basically, this is what I've gathered and what I've heard and learned from a lot of different things over many years of experience, of dealing with this kind of thing and all sorts of stuff. But basically, people, I want to say how to really make a relationship work. And this is something that you really do need to pay attention to, because this is how to make a relationship last. If you are failing in your relationships all the time, you know what? This is something that you need to pay attention to, because a lot of people forget these points. Okay? So, first thing, if you are in a relationship with someone, you need to truly love and care for them. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If you're just in it for the convenience of it, your relationship will not it will not survive. Um, so honest, you need to be sure that there is actually a true and honest love, or a very strong caring feeling for the person that you're with. I do understand that in some relationships, love is built upon. You might like someone a lot, care for them a lot, and you know that you perhaps like them more than a friend, but you don't really love them yet. I mean, that sort of situation, but there has to be honest and true love and caring in a relationship. Otherwise, it's pointless to even be in it. Secondly, this is a major point in a relationship, something that is very important, and something that people often disregard. If you are in a relationship, you need to have trust. If you do not trust the person that you're with, or if they do not trust you, it is not going to work. They will continually find something wrong, and they will keep accusing you. It's not, you need to be able to trust each other. And you need to not constantly doubt one another and accuse each other of things. It's never going to work if you keep doing that. If they're always finding something to pick at you out over, it's obvious they don't trust you. And so you need to bring it to their attention. You know what? If you don't trust me, then why do you want to be with me? Secondly, this is another major. These are all major points, but this is another big one. Honesty and being open with one another. For example, if something they do bothers you, don't go and just automatically ask your friend. You know, well, what do you think of this? You know, should I ask them about this? You know, honestly, if it bothers you, don't drag someone else into it first. You need to go straight to that person and tell them that it bothers you. If they're upset, you know what? Wait a bit. Let them calm down. But do not go and drag somebody else into it, because it will not work. It will not work. It will only cause more issues, because that person doesn't actually know what's going on. You know, there could be a reason why somebody does something that you don't realize. You know, let's say the one that you love says something, and you don't understand why they didn't react a certain way. Well, you know what? Maybe they did. For example, like, if your friend does something that you don't like towards the one that you love, you may not literally right then and there go up and get in your friend's face and say, do not do that. You will pull them aside, because you don't want to start a fight where one is not needed. You pull them aside and you tell them, you cannot do that anymore. You really cannot do that. That was very wrong of you. You're trying to avoid a fight that is not necessary. I mean, there is no point in starting something when there isn't anything there. Like, perhaps your friend didn't know that they shouldn't have said a certain thing. you know, there's so many different situations and possibilities in life that automatically thinking the worst is probably not the best way to go. So you need to be honest. If something bothers you, ask your significant other about it. Don't go and whine to your friends and say, what do you think of this situation? Do you think I should do that? Do you really think they're doing this wrong or whatever? No, that is not the way to handle it. You need to go to that person, the person that you love, the person that was involved, and this goes with friendships as well. You need to go to the person that it concerns, and you need to say, you know what, this bothered me. Can you explain what was going on, or why did you do this? Don't accuse. Don't accuse them. Don't blast them right away. You need to ask them for their opinion and then listen. If it doesn't seem solid, go ahead, ask more questions. But do not just drag someone else into it right away, because that is not a good way to go. It just creates mistrust, which, again, will undermine your relationship. Secondly, forgiveness, and this ties into another point, which I'm going to also make. When something happens in your relationship, someone makes a mistake, they upset you. Perhaps that mistake, people are not perfect. This is the other point. No one is perfect. They might be perfect for you, but they are still human and they will make mistakes. Sometimes they don't even realize what they're doing is going to hurt you. They don't do it intentionally. I mean, there are points where there are some people that do. However, the majority of times, people are not trying to hurt you. They make a mistake. So you need to forgive them. Because if you do not forgive them, it's not going to work. And do not hold on to it forever and ever again. You need to let it go. As hard as it may be, you need to let it go. There's, again, with as many situations and possibilities of things that can go wrong in life, if you hang on to absolutely everything that goes wrong, everything that somebody says wrong about you or to you or whatever they do that hurts you, if you hang on to it all the time, every single mistake they make, you will never have a relationship that works. Some things are not forgivable. I agree. I know that for a fact. Some things are not. However, if it's at all possible to forgive, you need to forgive them, because holding on to it and staying angry at them is not going to help anything. If you truly love them, you need to forgive and let it go. Another point is you need to have at least some sort of an understanding of the person that you're with. Basically, you spend a lot of time with them, so you kind of learn how they think. You need to, basically, such as in fights, you need to put yourself in their shoes. If some sort of thing happens, they make a mistake, or they react a certain way, and you don't understand because you wouldn't react that way, think about them. What in their life may have caused them to react in such a way? You know who they are. You wouldn't be with them if you didn't know them, if you didn't like them for who they are. So you need to keep in mind that they may not be like you. They may not react to things the same way you will. So there is always a reason behind why someone will act the way that they do. And it may not be a bad one. It may just be a past life experience that makes them question something a different way than you would. Or they may think about something a different way than you would because of an experience they've had already. So you need to remember that fact. And last but not least, you need to learn to compromise. You cannot always have your way. You cannot always have your way. You need to sometimes back down and give a little bit. Basically, you want something and your partner wants something completely different. You know what? Find something in the middle. Or sometimes, not all the time, because then it is not fair to either of you. Then it is not fair to you. But sometimes you need to basically back down and say, you know what? This time I'm going to let them have what they want. Because honestly, getting into such a fight over something like that is completely stupid. I mean, it really is. And you know what? That is why I say these things, because honestly, I've seen so many relationships with friends and other people that I've just run into or met, and their relationship is falling apart because they do not remember these points, and they do not follow these points. Not all relationships are going to work even if you follow these points. However, you have a much, much, much better chance of having a relationship that is healthy and that lasts if you stick to these points and follow these points. So, remember that. For a relationship to work, you need love. You need trust. You need to be honest and open with one another. You need to be able to forgive and let go. You need to understand the person that you're with. You need to have an understanding of them. And you need to learn to compromise and remember that no one is perfect. So hopefully that will help. Anyway, hopefully you guys get something out of this, and I hope that your relationship lasts. Bye. This is Kyrie. Later.